Now, I don't mean to tell you I told you so, but I kind of did. So the first week of Champions League fixtures have completely played through then, and there was a fair few talking points in match week 1 of the 2018-19 UEFA Champions League. So I've decided for this video, I'm going to have a little bit of a chat about them. So this is the Champions League verdict, episode 1. So we're going to start off with the English teams then, and the first game that I seen this week in the Champions League was Tottenham versus Inter Milan. Sorry, I just can't get over it. I just cannot get over Spurs. They're bottle jobs. You can make the joke all you want, but they are complete bottle jobs. Yes, they're a good team, but when it comes down to it, and the pressure is well and truly on them, they just completely crumble. It's just incredible. It really is. And, you know, as soon as they scored, I thought to myself, wow, they might actually win this game. But it was a lucky goal, but I think in the balance of the play, Spurs certainly did deserve it. The goal was scored by Christian Eriksen. It was a deflected shot which completely wrong-footed Samir Handanovic to give Spurs the lead. That was early on in the second half of the game. But it took Inter a while. Inter never really got back into it. They never looked like scoring. They were never threatening to Michel Vorm's goal. In the first half, there was a few instances where Spurs were trying to be a bit too clever and play it out from the back, and they were caught a few times, but luckily for them, not punished. You just could not see an Inter Milan goal coming from anywhere. You just couldn't. They had both Vertonghen and Davinson Sanchez on Mauro Icardi, 2-on-1. He was never going to get the better of them, really. You know, he was always outnumbered. But lo and behold, it was indeed Mauro Icardi who took the absolute roof off the San Siro with a screamer of a goal. Like, an incredible strike. Kwadwo Asamoah, who signed from Juventus, obviously, in the summer, he crosses it out and it reaches the edge of the box, and Mauro Icardi just comes in and meets it fully fledged on the volley into the bottom corner and absolutely took the roof off the place completely. It was an unbelievable strike, and Michel Vorm had absolutely no chance with it. Icardi, who was pretty much a bystander for the majority of the game, incredibly was the man to give Inter lift-off in this one. A mad goal, an absolute mad goal. And if you guys would like to try and see myself and Jack recreate that, and Danny or whoever comes with me, I mean, that is a goal for the goal recreation series if ever I did see one. So if you'd like to see that, leave a like on this video. Let me see. If we get 15 likes on this video, I will do that. I would recreate Mauro Icardi's volley for Inter against Spurs. Got that? 15 likes. Okay. Right. Moving on then. Well, we're not moving on because that's not how it finished. Inter get a corner deep into stoppage time. Then they had a couple of successive corners leading up to this. It was swung in, and the defender gets up, rises above everyone, heads it back across towards the near post, and there is Vecino to just flick it in to get the winner in the 92nd minute for Inter Milan. And I'm sorry, I made the thumbnail the last time and it might have raised a few eyebrows with, you know, Spurs being bottle jobs and Pochettino like that, but they are bottle jobs! They are bottle jobs. 100%. They cannot cope in a pressurised situation. And that is why I don't think they're going to win anything this season. I just hope that doesn't come back to bite me now later on in the season. But anyway, they just had absolutely no backbone at all. And Spurs fans had to go home sulking. And, you know, it's not the worst sight in the world. The final whistle went then and Inter Milan won the game by 2 goals to 1, I apologise. I'm not sure it was 3. No, it was only 2 goals to 1. And a team that didn't look like winning somehow managed to win it. It was mad. It was just mad. It was mad. Also in that group, Barcelona beat PSV Eindhoven. And it was 4-0 on the night, and it was just another magic performance from Lionel Messi. He scored the very first goal in this season's Champions League with a trademark Messi free kick. He then added 2 more before Ousmane Dembele made it 4. And Barcelona just look like a really good side this season. We say it every year, and sometimes they get undone in like the knockout stages by teams with better defences. But I don't know. It'll be interesting to see when they come up against the better sides how they will cope. But no, still Barcelona looking as good as usual, and Messi looking as good as usual. Could be difficult for Spurs to progress from that group if Inter keep going with that kind of determination and grit. No reason why they can't qualify as well. So Spurs, after losing the first game, have a bit of an uphill battle now. They always say if you win your home games and don't lose your away games, there's a good chance you're going to qualify. But yeah, Spurs. Yeah. Anyway, let's just stop talking about Spurs, because I'm just so happy I'm not a Spurs fan, to be honest. If I was, I would be fucking raging. I'd be raging. Let's move on to Liverpool then, and they picked up their first win in this season's Champions League with a dramatic 3-2 victory over Paris Saint-Germain. An incredible game at Anfield. Liverpool blew PSG away in this game, and the fact that they didn't win it by more and more comfortably is just mind-boggling to me. And they did win it, and justice was done in the end. But the tone of the game was very much set by a 7 or 8 minute tackle by James Milner on Neymar to send him out over the sideline, and that got a lot of people shouting. That's what really got things going in this game. But the first goal was scored after Andy Robertson's cross was met by, who like, incredibly, Daniel Sturridge. Do you remember him? Daniel Sturridge, the player who would score loads of goals for Liverpool, a few goals for Chelsea, a few goals for City. He was the brightest new thing and all that. Then he got a load of injuries and went off to West Brom on loan. Anyway. Yeah, Sturridge scored. And the only reason he was in tonight was because of Roberto Firmino's eye injury that he suffered against Tottenham at the weekend. But it was a great header, and I have to say, out of the front three, I felt as though Sturridge was the most... He had the most impact on the game. More than Salah, more than Mane. Well, Salah had an impact, and if anything, it was a negative impact. But no, that goal from Sturridge gave Liverpool the lead. It was soon 2-0. Gini Wijnaldum brought down in the box by, I think it was Marquinhos. James Milner, Mr. Reliable, stuck away the penalty to make it 2-0 to Liverpool. And at this stage, you couldn't really see a way back into the game for PSG. They hadn't really tested Alisson in the Liverpool goal, and they failed to get the likes of Neymar, Mbappe, Cavani all involved in the game. I would also like to mention they were missing Marco Verratti tonight. There was a few players missing as well, Buffon being another, Dani Alves. They were missing players, PSG. I will say that before I go into them criticising them. You know, they were missing players tonight. And but Marquinhos playing centre defensive mid was dodgy enough. He had Kimpembe playing centre back with Thiago Silva, which a bit shaky as well. But yeah, admittedly PSG were missing players, but they just never looked like they were in the game, even though the scoreline would suggest otherwise. But they did pull one back just before the break. A fantastic finish by Thomas Meunier. Really awkward effort with his left foot, kind of running across Alisson's goal, and he kind of volleys it into the near corner, and Alisson just didn't move. He was just kind of like fuck me, where did that come from? But no, fucking great finish by Meunier, and that's how it was at half time. Liverpool for the second half pressed, and looked like finishing PSG for so long. But it was PSG that got the equaliser. Kylian Mbappe, after a really poor pass by Mo Salah, and it wasn't the first he'd made in the game either. A few lazy kind of attempted cross-field balls that didn't come off for him. He gives this one away, and Neymar is in. Neymar plays it into Mbappe, and it's a good finish past Alisson. And at that stage, you're thinking Liverpool have quite frankly done a Spurs on it. They've bottled it, but not how it proved to turn out in the end. Roberto Firmino off the bench to score an incredible individual goal. Turning Marquinhos inside out before smashing it into the far bottom corner to earn Liverpool a massive 3-2 victory on match day 1. It should have been a lot easier for them. Obviously, since the money has come in and the massive marquee signings have come in, PSG have been incredible in the French league. Like, the French league standard is shocking. I'm sorry, it's shit. And you can tell that Liverpool are used to playing at a higher standard of football because their tempo is just far higher than PSG's in this game. And that's not necessarily PSG's fault, but it's just the league they're playing in is so bad. And like, they played a game the other night and had Mbappe and Neymar injured, and they still beat Saint Etienne. I think it was 3 or 4-0. Like, if you can afford to drop your main two players and still win the game 4-0 against a team who aren't exactly relegation candidates, Saint Etienne, from what I can gather, they're a team that's challenging for Europe. So, I don't know. I think it's the league that really makes PSG struggle. But apart from that, I do think they're a team of individuals as well. I think Neymar and Mbappe in particular are very much about themselves, which obviously doesn't help the team morale overall. But Liverpool came out on top and justice was well and truly done. Ronaldo was sent off. Let's forget about the game. Juventus won it anyway, but Cristiano Ronaldo was sent off and what can only be described as a fucking ridiculous red card. From all the angles you see in it, it's kind of like a... If you all remember John Terry's red card for Chelsea against Barcelona a few years ago when he kneed Alexis Sanchez up the air. Now that was a red card, but it was kind of like he was trying to make it discreet while the play was going on, and the commentators didn't really cop it at the time. But this was a similar scenario. Like, I don't think the ref really copped it until a big fucking brawl broke out. But your man goes to the deck, the Valencia player, after Ronaldo kind of, I don't know if he elbows him, but he kind of clashes with him anyway, and your man goes to the ground, and Ronaldo gives him a little like tap on the head as he runs by him. There's nothing really in it. Like, is this what football's really coming to? A little... That's a red card now. That is a red card. And your man obviously, when he felt the contact on his head from Ronaldo, you know, he acted like he was shot. Do you know what I mean? And admittedly, Ronaldo's been guilty for it as well in his time, but that was a very harsh red card. I will say this about Ronaldo though, his reaction was a little bit over the top. It's something you'd imagine from a child playing schoolboy football. It was that kind of reaction. He goes down on the ground and he's like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, you're a grown man, you're 33, 34 years of age. We know Ronaldo has cried a lot of times on the pitch, but that was when he was younger. But this one was just out of pure frustration. And you can see where he's coming from, but reaction was a little bit over the top for me. Let's move on to the two Manchester clubs. And Manchester United picked up a 3-0 win away to Young Boys. A game they were very much fancy to win, and they didn't let anyone down. 2 goals on the night from Paul Pogba, one of them being a penalty. Anthony Martial also was on the score sheet for Man United, and they get off to the perfect start to Champions League life. And I think I'm not too sure. I think Valencia and Juventus is in. Yeah, Valencia and Juventus is in that group as well. So it could be a potentially tough group for United, but I would expect that they're good enough to progress from it. Now, quite possibly the biggest shock, bigger shock than Ronaldo's red card at the Mestalla. Manchester City, Premier League champions, Centurions, arguably the best team in Europe last season, were defeated 2-1 by Lyon at the Etihad in their first Champions League game. Who would have called it? I mean, no one would have given Lyon an absolute sniff in this game, but to be fair to them, they came out and they did the fucking job. Cornet gave them the lead with a good finish, and then an even better finish from Nabil Fekir gave Lyon a 2-goal lead at half-time. City came out in the second half and had a lot more possession. Bernardo Silva pulled one back for them, but that is as good as it got. Lyon picked up a shock win. Maybe, just maybe, this could be the start of a little bit of, you know, a few cracks starting to appear in Manchester City's team. Now, it is only one defeat, I'm not going to overreact, but I've seen it happen where one defeat can completely send the team off the rails. And City fans will be hoping that that's not the case with this particular squad of players. But props to Lyon, fantastic win for them, and an even better fucking performance. Well done, lads, seriously, very impressive. Not many teams can go to this Manchester City and win in their own backyard. Not at Guardiola's City, but Lyon did it. Incredible stuff. So big 3 points for Lyon. So Europa League then, and Chelsea and Arsenal both won. Arsenal picked up a 4-2 win over Vorskla. I'm not sure, I'm butchering the name. They picked up a 4-2 win anyway. 2 goals from Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, 1 from Danny Welbeck, and 1 from Mesut Ozil picked up the 4 goals. And Arsenal got a little bit sloppy towards the end, conceded 2 late goals, but it won't affect them too much, and they will progress pretty handily from that group. As you'd imagine, Chelsea will as well. We picked up a 1-0 win away in Greece to PAOK. Willian was captain for the night, and he got the goal. Some good work in the build-up from Ross Barkley, and then a good finish by Willian at the end of it. And Chelsea's 100% start of the season in all competitions continues. So yeah, that was not all of the European action, but just the matches that I kind of wanted to chat about. So yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I know I said it was a Champions League verdict, and I chat about the 2 Europa League games as well, but fuck it, you know. What are you going to do? You know, I felt like talking about Chelsea and Arsenal, so I did. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did like it, please leave a like and subscribe if you're new around here with those notifications on, and I will catch you guys later.